Yeah, that's right. In a LAN event, you can't. You have to try your best not to scream against any of your teams in your group.
Okay. Apparently your microphone is good. It should be. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Let's actually make sure that I'm still in the game. They didn't remake. Okay, we're good. So Winter, we're looking at the two teams that are 0-1 right now in their group, and if whoever loses this game is 0-2, and the teams they have to play look stronger than either of these teams based on the first day. So for me, this is a must-win. The loser of this game, I think, has a very high chance of being knocked out of the group.
Yeah, that's right. I actually pasted it on my Facebook page as well. Whoever loses this will be almost 100% eliminated from the event already. Whoever wins this will most likely guarantee at least third place.
I'm reading the chat right now, just trying to make sure the audio issues are short.
Just let me know if, because I don't know what went wrong just now. I didn't really change any of the settings, so I'm not too sure what.
All right, so while we're doing that, talk to me more about how these teams match up. Since this is a must-win, I think we both agree about that. Again, based on the group standings. It's a must-win. Who do you think has the edge and why?
This is going to be hard. I haven't been checking a lot on MUFC with Freedom training as of late, and based on the first two games, I don't really fancy their chances, but I really hope that they get the game plan back together and play like how they used to play before when xfreedom was playing with them in the qualifiers. If they play and they find somehow to play back the usual style during that period of time, I think they will be able to win.
So, MUFC, you're giving them... they really should be. I mean, they've played more competitively. They've played more as a team competitively. Sure, one player's been replaced, but or has been sort of changing from tournament to tournament. But guess what? Vici Gaming has not played as a team really at all. It's been 1 month. It's... You know, they haven't had nearly as much practice as a team. I mean, you see, they've had some good results. They played well. They played very well in online events. The question is, can they translate that into LAN tournament success, and can they do it on foreign soil? Sure, it's a studio, but it's certainly not their home turf.
Yeah, and I think if they are able to pick their heroes and play their style, their superior on a LAN tournament experience should be able to prevail over VG. It still comes down to the main weakness of VG, where they lack a lot of LAN experience compared to all the other the other 3 teams in the group.
So people are saying I'm a little bit... Don't touch any of your volume, but guys, I did turn myself up a little bit. I kept Winter the same. Hopefully we're equal volumes now. If we're not, we'll tweak it. But Winter did make some changes to his microphone because his Skype, damn you Skype, was auto-adjusting. That's why nobody could really hear him in-game. That's why he was so quiet. So we hope Dota TV will be fixed today. Winter, who actually helped you with that? Because they deserve a shout-out. Do you remember?
It was one of my viewers when I was trying on the stream yesterday. I can't remember his name. It was a really very long name. But thanks to the person that helped me. I really appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, thank you to the community. You guys rock. You guys are awesome. We're now looking at the standings for this group. Like we talked about, Tongfu and IG on top. I actually think Tongfu could beat IG. The way IG played yesterday, they looked a little sloppy, and also just their matchup. IG, you still have to give them the edge just based on their track record, their experience, but Tongfu is a lot stronger than the Tongfu we saw even at the International 2, and certainly the Tongfu from G1 League. This Tongfu, much more disciplined, very good timing. It seems like their decision-making is a lot stronger as a team in-game, and I won't be surprised if IG actually loses a game or maybe even the series to them tomorrow.
Yeah, Tongfu are playing very well as of late. LD, the chat's saying that I'm too loud.
You're too loud. Well, I made myself louder. Maybe I'll turn you down a little bit.
My settings, yeah.
No. Don't touch anything. I'll fix it on my end. Don't touch anything.
Okay.
Okay. I turned you down like 10%. I turned myself up like 10%. So hopefully that's good, guys. Let us know. We don't want to tweak it too much and suddenly have me screaming and you not able to hear Winter.
Yeah, but I'm checking on the Dota 2 audio. Mine is a lot better than before. It's all green to the middle.
All green. It's Christmas time, man. It needs to be all green. Well, actually, I guess it's past Christmas time. Wow, is it really New Year's Eve? Happy New Year's Eve, by the way, because it's about to be 2013 for you.
Yeah, it's about another 3.5 hours for me. 4 hours around. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I might even be sleeping when the New Year's starts because we're casting in the AM my time. We'll see. I'll try to stay up for it, but Yeah, it's Happy New Year's to everyone watching on the stream, and it should be a great 2013. I gotta say, based on how Dota 2 has grown this year, I'm very excited for next year.
Yeah, me too. And happy New Year's Eve to you as well, Heldy. I'll probably go out to catch some fireworks after the games.
Are you going to be casting tomorrow, or are you taking a break? Do you want to cast?
I don't mind.
Okay, I'm putting you on the spot, but I don't want to forget to ask you later. So. There you go. So, all right, we've talked about the group. We've talked about sort of where we are in the group, but specifically this matchup. You think MUFC have the edge. What's going to be the key for Vici Gaming if they want to defeat them? Last match, it seemed like it was all about wards and all about team decision making.
And also the positional play by VG was very bad.
So that's your keys for them? They really have to improve that if they want to advance.
And towards the draft as well, I really look forward to them trying to pick anti-mage all the games today, because I know that MUFC they are not really the anti-mage type of team.
Yeah, and it's also going to discourage that Tinker, which MUFC, we did see them run it yesterday. Tinker's a little dangerous against anti-mage if you have a bad start.
Yeah.
You just get hunted, and there's no blinking into the trees for you.
Wait, I know what I want to say now. Tinker is also a natural predator. I mean, anti-mage is also a natural predator of Tinker.
Yeah, he's a natural predator of Tinker. That's completely true. It can go the other way. If Tinker has the better start and he gets an early Hex, he can shut down the AM. He's probably not killing him, but he can stop him from farming. So
yeah, he can be a total control over the anti-mage when he has his Green Sus.
I'm still trying to find out if the audio is better now.
I hope it's better.
Yeah, no, you don't touch anything, or I'll fire you. I think I threaten to do that every day.
I'm not touching anything now.
Yeah, take your hands off the keyboard, Winter. All right, so on the other side for MUFC, why did they look so? Why was their form so poor? Aside from having the new, it's changing the roster a lot with now it's xfreedom, it was HYHY, and before that it was Ken. Just talking about their gameplay specifically, like what was poor about their form yesterday? Why were they not performing well? And what do they need to do differently in this match?
I didn't actually catch both the games yesterday.
Well, I could talk more about it, which was they put, for me, Fear touched on it. They picked a lot of stuns, and then they picked a lineup that, or they didn't pick any stuns in game one. Then they picked a lineup that was going to lose late game. So I felt like the draft, if they didn't have a really strong laning start with the double roaming. So for me, I like the double roaming, but you need to pick a better team fight if you want to do it so that there's not as much pressure. You want to put pressure on Vici Gaming. You want to force them into those bad decisions, but you want to make sure that you have a backup plan as the game goes along. So I would like to see MUFC get the Tinker. That's okay if the anti-mage is banned out. If they want to go for the Tinker, it's fine, but you don't want to pick a lineup that just has to dominate the laning stage. You want to give yourself more margin for your experience to come into play later on.
Yeah, I have to agree with you to that as well. And the style of MUFC is more of a split push type without actually a specific carry for them. And Tinker plus maybe something like a Slada for them would be very decent against anti-mage if VG decides to pick the anti-mage up.
We can see the teams being ranked now. We see, it seems like very sort of well-rounded team, they're saying, for MUFC. They don't excel at any one thing, but they're pretty good across the board. I would agree with that. But for me, I think Ohaiyo has to have a big game today. Yesterday, and Sharky played pretty well, but his decision-making not the best. I feel like their carry players really have to step up for them.
Yeah, it's going to be very crucial if they decide to pick the Tinker. How does the Tinker do in the early phase will be very, very important towards the developing middle game, where if he has his dagger up really early, he can avoid deaths when he's trying to farm and split push and get his Hex or even a Dagon up. I know they prefer to get a Dagon and Ethereal Blade build.
Yeah, they do. They do almost to a fault. It is much more entertaining for the viewers, but it's not always the best build.
Well, it's sort of a strategic build against tanks, where they don't go BKB and you can just harass them down when you have your 800 Dagon and your Ethereal Blade, but it's going to be very late when you get those two items.
Yeah, it's very expensive, especially if you level up the Dagon. It's the most expensive item in the game if you get a Dagon 5, even more expensive than an Abyssal Blade or a Divine Rapier. It's very costly if you go for the fully upgraded one. which we have seen. Ohio likes to go for that. So I don't think we're going to see that this game, though. I got to say, after the way yesterday went.
I think xfreedom is the one who likes to go for that. He's the one who introduced it.
Yeah, well, Ohio has stolen it then, because he's been going for it as well. Like you mentioned, though, they have two Tinker players.
Yes. Yeah, they have two Tinker players. If xfreedom plays it, it's going to be off lane.
Introducing those players now, we have Ohio. Pretty young one, but he's risen very quickly in the scene.
Yeah, he started out from Sino. I'm not sure if you know about this team from Malaysia.
And they're just a name to me. I don't know much about them.
Yeah, and then he moved on later on to the Orange Academy team. I think you know about the Academy team that Orange had before.
Yeah, they have a B team basically. For anyone who's wondering, it's like in sort of Western sports, it'd be like having a farm league team.
And we had a moment of thinking about trying to fit him into the first team as well, but didn't really work out too well for us, and we decided not to. But he's doing really well now in MUFC.
So we're seeing Net getting introduced now. Net, he has played. I don't think we'll see it anymore, but he has. Whenever they pick a lifestealer, he's been the one who played it, and that with the new roster, I don't think he will be.
That was, I think, before xfreedom joined.
Before xfreedom, but he is a versatile player.
Yeah, he is. He is a very versatile player. He can play multiple roles really well. And in my opinion, he's one of the best, if not the best, support players for Malaysia.
And when you consider that Orange and MUFC both primarily come from Malaysia, that's actually saying quite a bit.
Yeah, I had a bit of time playing with him when I was in Cyber Time last time. It was pretty long ago, and I really enjoyed playing the support role, fourth and fifth role with him.
So we have the carry player for MUFC, Sharky here. And Sharky, he played really well in the lane. And that's actually something Sharky has struggled with his laning. I think most notably, he played the safe lane Queen of Pain against Yao's off lane Windrunner. And he got demolished at the Asia. And that's a lane where the Queen of Pain should have the edge, especially being in her safe lane. And, but he played better in the laning stage yesterday, I gotta say, against Tongfu. His problem was, again, the mid-game decision-making. He got picked off in the enemy base. They used the reverse polarity to do it, but without Sharky, they couldn't contest Roshan. And once Tongfu got the Rosh, it really started to turn against them. So with that being said, they're introducing Vici Gaming now. We saw CTY, the carry player, and now XTT. He was the bat rider yesterday. I have to say, I think he was the star in that game number 2.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to point out, so even though he got a solo kill on the Windrunner at the Asia, where you mentioned before, he started off really badly and he was really behind in CS. And even the game before, when they were playing LGD he was the Klings against Yao on Windrunner. I can't remember which game was it. I think it was the loser brackets final.
Yeah.
He got dominated by Yao as well.
Yeah, it's Yao, though. To be fair, it's not any old player. It's a very top solo player. But I actually got the players mixed up. I was looking at my Skype chat to make sure there are no stream issues. They just introduced CTY, and now it's Fenrir. Someone told me I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, so hopefully someone in the chat will fix it. Either way.
You can let me know how to pronounce it as well.
No, let's both make it as bad as possible. That's what we should do. Fenrir, and SYDM, the solo mid normally for VG. And the most experienced player on this team, he's actually played competitive before for Tyloo, and he'll be most likely going to that 2 position for them.
Yeah, I think Fenrir doesn't even sound anything like a Mandarin word to me. I don't know what is it.
I think it's a. No, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Ifrit, which is a fire spirit in some European culture, I think. It shows up a lot in video games. That's how I know. But,
Ifrit.
I think it might be Wolf.
Did you play Heroes? Did you play Heroes? I think it showed up in that video game before.
Maybe. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm stabbing I'm throwing darts in the dark, honestly. But we do see the very entrancing graphic here, showing the team's corresponding roles. And Ohio versus XTT, that's a matchup I'm looking forward to. XTT was very impressive yesterday. They say they play the same role, but XTT was actually in the off lane, and Ohio was he's normally the mid right now, so maybe they're not pure
technically
opposites.
Not the off lane that game. He was like jungling with his bat rider.
Yeah, and giving away free farm to Zhou, who missed a lot of last hits in spite of it. But hey, IG took that game. That was, by the way, I have to ask you now, what is it going to be today, Winter? What do you have up your sleeve for us as far as ridiculous games? Because we saw a Shadow Demon carry Million Man Army 2 days ago. Yesterday we see a Divine Rapier being all part of Faith's master plan, fed away by Joe's bear so that Faith could get it back when the game ended. What is up your sleeve for this particular series? Can you spoil the surprise?
I want to see, and I hope to see MUFC doing a whip strat with Nyx with the Nyx bomb, and they have Tinker and they have Furen, and you can have 4 heroes flying everywhere over the map.
And maybe throw a Wisp in there for good measure, just so she can join the fights as well.
Yeah, Wisp, Nyx, Furen, Tinker.
plus anyone, and then you can have all 5 heroes descending on one lane. You know, one thing that lineup is lacking is any team fight, and we've seen a lot of 5-man Dota, so I don't know, but hey, it's possible. I'm actually glad you brought up the Wisp, though, because both of these teams, you know, for Vici Gaming, they want C2I to be split pushing and getting very fat. That's their style. For MUFC, they have a couple heroes, players, xfreedom, ohaiyo, and even Sharky, you know, whether it's his Queen of Pain, his Weaver, they want to split push too. So Wisp is a hero we almost never see in the Asian scene because of the weak laning. It's hard to put in a lane without losing that laning stage. But if they can sneak it in, it could be for either team a way to try and deal with those split pushes.
Yeah, actually, in the Asian scene, like you mentioned, only Zenith do pick up that hero pretty much quite often. Yeah, they do it a lot in scrims. And Whips is a type of hero where it's if you do really badly at the start and you get dominated, no, you can't do anything after that because you need levels so badly.
So, yeah, it's like that's the thing is European teams seem to be able to get away with it a bit better, but all the Asian teams are being so aggressive with their lanes. You know, offensive tri lanes, dual roaming. It's harder to find a place for Wisp in that kind of metagame.
And when you talk about Wisp, you remind me of something.
Wow.
Wisp tiny. No.
Tiny Wisp.
No.
You know what the Pinoys love to do is their Riki Wisp. I would love to see that. I don't think we will.
Yeah, but Tiny Wisp has something. It's a sad story for me.
Yeah, it's. Tell us your sad story. Before you say that though, they're actually giving Vici Gaming a 75% edge. So the Chinese fans really showing their nationalism there. But
they're rooting for the home team.
Exactly. But okay, tell us your story. Let's go.
It's actually. Don't you remember TI2?
Oh yeah. Oh god, how could I forget? And Lamb was just max 6-slotted tiny.
You know, the one thing I remember from that incident was Xting. He was like, when he was playing, he got his mood totally went down when the Chinese splash killed him in 1 hit. I think it was 2 hits from the crit, and he was going, "I'm dead. I got killed by the splash on Tiny Man." In Mandarin.
It's hard though. It's painful and it's demoralizing. It's like that one game where EG was playing Navi at DreamHack and one Sven Cleave killed 4 heroes from fear.
Yeah.
That's very demoralizing when something like that happens.
The Dark Seal Vacuum and crit. Everyone died. That was very ugly to see.
It was very ugly to see. Hopefully, but it was also very entertaining, I have to say, at the same time.
No, well, you won't want to be the supporters in those type of games.
Mushi was also making the supports pretty sad for eHome. eHome supports were not happy about that Ethereal Blade Morphling either.
He didn't go
did
for
he?
it. No, he didn't.
Oh, he went. What did he go? Lincoln's Manta.
Lincoln's Manta, BKB,
Yeah.
Scotty.
He was still making the supports sad though. I remember him killing them a lot.
And he was sieging the Tier 3 tower at 17 minutes, if I was not mistaken. We were really disappointed that we didn't get that game.
And I think that was a best out of 1 format, right? This is a best out of 3, so they'll have... It was best out of 1, right? I think so.
Yeah, it was in the losers bracket, best out of 1. We were still pretty tense out of the situation, but we were pretty confident because in the groups we managed to beat them 2-0. And in our scrims against them, they mentioned it in the pre-game interview as well, they weren't having a very good win rate against us in the scrims.
Anti-Mage first ban. MUFC have done their homework. So here we go in game 1.
Anti-Mage sort of get a lot of attention after everyone was talking about the 100% win rate of it in the tournament.
Yeah, I assume at this point it's been trickling through the Chinese community as well. I'm sure it's not just the Westerners who are noticing.
Oh, look at the ban. Wait, are you in the stream or?
I'm on the stream. You should watch on the stream too.
I'll try.
Try.
But I'm always lagging on the Chinese stream.
Okay. Well, I like it for the camera shots as well. Some people want me to show in game, but you know, I just feel like it's a better production experience on the live stream. So Tinker banned out by VG. They have also done their homework, but the problem with this is you give away that Nyx assassin probably to net, and this is a hero that can really control the game. VG respond with a mag lone druid, so you already know their plan. It's group up and fight later on in the game.
Yeah. Have you seen? I think you see the Keeper of the Light already. E-Cup MUFC, they pick up Keeper of the Light as their second pick. Nyx Assassin plus Keeper, very strong trialing already. They are showing that they want to gank you and they want to have the aggressiveness in the laning phases already.
They do have a Keeper of the Light, and this is a key hero when you're up against group up and push. That one they didn't even have to think about. They don't get the Tinker, though. That's not going to be available to them. What do MUFC look for here?
Oh, this hero. I saw them using this hero in the screen just now.
Let's see. What's it going to be?
You're going to be excited. I think you really look forward to this hero.
Oh, boy. Ohaiyo has played a really good Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, he is. He did play quite a few very exceptional Shadow Fiends in the past during tournaments.
Yeah, and what was interesting to me, he did a Shadow Blade rush in one of those games, and he created so much map control. And when you have Nyx Assassin and a Shadow Blade Shadow Feed, you can just insta-give. You can instantly assassinate a lot of these supports, and even maybe the Magnus if he's underleveled. This could be a hero that really gives them a lot of map control, and I think it's got a lot of synergy with that build with the Nyx Assassin.
Yeah, with the change on the Shadow Blade, it's really good for the Shadow Fiend to buy the Shadow Blade early on if you can get it before 15 minutes, even 16 minutes or so. It's really strong and you create a lot of fear in the opponent's carries when they're farming because Shadow Fiend can kill you with the Shadow Blade plus ulti combo very easily.
Then the question is, how's he going to be laned? The last time I saw Ohaiyo play this, he was a safe lane Shadow Fiend. With the way this game's developing, we don't know what the lanes are yet for VG. I would say the mag is going mid, but we've seen a lot of teams just send him to the off lane, and for the most part, it's been working out because of the matchups.
Yeah, and I think LGD is the only team so far I've seen which they placed the Magnus middle for Yao.
Yeah, and even then,
LGD China, yeah, to be more specific.
I think they've also run him off lane. Yeah, there was definitely a game where he was run off lane after the skewer nerf. So it's the game you mentioned. Xiao 8 was in the off lane, and he went for that was one of the hotkey games, if I recall correctly. It worked out okay, but
yeah, the Beastmaster and Magnus, yeah.
Yeah, but we have seen Yao do both things, and it's hard to tell where the mag's going to be, and I wonder how this is going to affect MUFC's decision for the rest of the draft, and what are they expecting VG to do with the lanes?
They are already banning out all the team fight heroes, which are really strong. Look at the 3 second phase bans.
I like these.
Brewmaster, Night Stalker, and Beastmaster. They are all heroes that synergize well with Lone Druid. I'm really surprised that they didn't try to pick up the Beastmaster earlier for VG. They opted for the Shadow Demon instead.
I'm not sure how much Shadow Demon actually does for you this game. Nyx Assassin can just kill him right away if your Sentry... That was one issue for VG, is their warding is not the best. We need to see those very disciplined Sentry wards placed as soon as Nyx hits level 6, as soon as the Shadow Fiend has the Shadow Blade. If he goes for that build, which, again, it's what we expect, but you never know. It's possible he'd go for the more traditional route.
I think for 100% for sure he'll go for that build. It fits to their split pushing style as well, and I think it can be a core item for Shadow Fiend already since the change.
If you rush it, but you have to rush it. That's very important.
You have to rush it. Yeah, and I agree. Okay, this is the hero I said they will pick up. You're gonna see it soon.
Yeah, you're spoiling everything, man. You're killing me. Slardar minus armor stacks out the wazoo. This is your initiator for MUFC. How are they going to lane it, though? Is it their safe lane, Shadow Fiend mid, and then defensive tri-lane for them? Or is there any chance they would go aggressive with this?
They could do a tri-lane with Slardar, give him the protected farm, and leave the Shadow Fiend in the middle. But they could also do 1v1 for the Slardar against the Magnus, but he might have a really hard time because of the constant shockwave spams.
What is Vici Gaming going to do to respond? I love this. They pick up the support Sven. They get that plus armor from Warcry. And that's very important against MUFC. They not only have Slardar's amplified damage, they also have the Shadow Fiend Presence of Darkness.
You know, LD, I think they might run the aggressive tri-lane with Sven and leave the lone druid and Magnus as solos.
And who's gonna punish that? Who's gonna shut down the lone druid safe lane or the mag mid?
Yeah, they really have very strong 1v1 heroes right now. The Mag and the lone druid, they can actually do this with quite a good success rate. Because lone druid will be able to dominate his opponent in the safe lane, and if they decide to put the Magnus in middle, he won't have a too hard of a time as well.
Unless MUFC goes aggressive, but Slaughter's not really the best hero to go aggressive tri-lane with. I don't know. This is... Is it possible we could see that... well, Slaughter mid doesn't work if you're up against an aggressive tri-lane. You can't really put the Shadow Fiend in the safe lane. So yeah, they're kind of in a box right here.
By picking up the Slaughter, I actually think it's really difficult for them to...
He's hard to lane.
Yeah, it's hard for them to lane already, but I like the pickup. The minus armor combination.
Also another...
I'm a fan of the minus armor.
I am too. Another thing worth mentioning is Shadow Demon is a great counter to Slardar. You can Demonic Purge him to remove his sprint, you can disrupt anyone he's trying to initiate on, and you have Soul Catcher to burst him down quickly until he gets his BKB. This is a hero, and the Shadow Demon could cause a lot of problems for Slardar in the mid game.
More armor reduction.
Oh, this is going to be their 1v1. They're going to run the Weaver safe lane to go against the Mag, and probably a tri-lane with the Slardar and Shadow Fiend mid.
LD, Weaver actually doesn't do too bad against a lone druid if they decide to put the Weaver up against one-on-one against
the
lone druid.
You're right. Maybe they would do that instead.
Yeah, it's xfreedom playing it. Are you inside the game already?
I'm getting inside the game right now. As they pick Dazzle as their last pick. We're going to see that combo we saw from LGD yesterday with the Disruption Illusions doing extra damage from the Heal Bomb.
And it's also a good way to deal with the armor stacks reduction of MUFC, his ultimate.
Let's see how they're going to lay in this. Ohaiyo has gone mid, has gone safely to Shadow Fiend. Sharky going to be on that Weaver. Let's find out.
Sharky? No, Sharky is on the Slaughter.
Oh, he's not. He played it yesterday, so they're switching things up a little bit. It's going to be, like you said, xfreedom on the Weaver. And where is he? Is he going? No, he's going off lane here, right?
Off lane. Yeah, his item is off for off lane.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say as well, Sharky, he has his name in Chinese, which means Slada. They call Slada his Chinese name. So his name is Slada in Chinese, and he's playing the Slada.
He's really trying to win over the Chinese fans. He was showing he was showing a plush toy earlier on camera, being very cute.
Yeah, I saw that.
He wants their support. At least, something to cheer him up during the break. So, on that note, send Sharky cheerfuls. But yeah, Sharky on the Slaughter, like you said. We have Ling on the support Nyx Assassin. Net going to be on the Keeper of the Light. Solo mid Ohaiyo pulled some regen, starts with the Wraith Band, and then xfreedom going to the offlane as Weaver.
Yeah, for VG, they have Fenrir on Shadow Demon, SYDM on the Magnus, CTY on his Silla Bear, XTT on the Sven. And finally, we have YXY on the Dazzle.
So, SYDM is going mid. They're putting him in the mid lane, rushing that bottle. Offensive tri-lane with the Shadow Demon plus Heal Bomb combo. And then CTY. CTY getting the safe lane farm versus Weaver. Does he have sentries, though? No sentries. That can really make it very hard for Weaver, but they didn't.
He has sentries. He has sentries on the... Yeah, Spirit Bear.
Oh, he does. This is good. This is really going to hurt the Weaver.
Yeah.
This is really going to help the Weaver.
One moment you say this is going to help him with the Weaver, and he gets this.
Could they even possibly... No, they can't. That was Shadow Fiend mid. It's not going to happen. So he'll just take this for the offlane.
Yeah, he's just going to take it and help him in the laning phase.
If they had a better level 1 ganker mid, they could maybe have killed Mag, because Mag took Shockwave at level 1, which is normal when you're going mid. But not going to happen with Shadow Fiend here.
But not many players opt to do the safe thing, which is to keep your skill build and decide whether or not if you need to use the skewer first or the shockwave in the lane. So not many players do that.
Yeah, so both teams have pretty decent wards here, and do they have any sentries on either team? CTY has them, but yeah, no sentries for the bottom lane. So both teams are going to have vision of everything. Who do you give the edge to in this tri-lane? They're going to go in right away. VG, they don't get the surround. That's a 3-hair Slithering Crush. And the Illuminate channeling. Oh, that was a bad initiate. A great turnaround by the Slaughter there as well.
Yeah, one thing when you have to be careful if they try to engage on the Slaughter, Slithering Crush has a very quick animation, and if you don't stun him right away, he's going to crush you first.
I'ma crush you, that's what Slardar says. And the other thing is they're going for these disruption blocks, but he can easily... Yeah, they're going again. Fenrir is getting caught out. Illuminate on 3. They're dropping low. There's the crush. Turning it around. Ling's trying to run. He went for Mana Burn at level 1. Doesn't help you in these early engagements. Now the heal. They want YXY, but I don't think they can... Maybe they can kill him. They don't have an Illuminate. All they have is the crush. They're going to try and catch him, though. Ling, still no stun. Mana Burn cooling down in 10 seconds. There's your crush. There's the auto text. He's also level 1. He tangos out. And I think with this should get to safety. Still running, though. Ling's still giving chase. Has the Mana Burn soon. Will it be enough? Will it be enough? Not going to go for it in the end.
Yeah, I think it was a smart decision by him. If he decides to still go for it, he might pay for it because the Shadow Demon has his disruption.
So far, so good. Sharky's holding his own on the other lanes. He's doing well against CTY. Even with the wards being there, he's 5-1, but he's taking a lot of harassment. Actually, he's already used 4 tangos, so maybe not really well, but he's doing decently. Ohaiyo is 3 creeps ahead mid, which for a Shadow Fiend, that's a pretty good start.
Regeneration. So lucky.
What do you know? That's
luck. He's on their side.
At least he already used his clarity if you're MUFC, so I guess he did already use it before he gets the regen.
But the crucial thing is now that being said that Slardar, he doesn't have any mana for anything, and do they have clarity?
They do. They have chakra magic.
Yeah, he's level 2 already. Didn't see that.
Yeah, still level 1 on Vici Gaming. They were driven off the lane, and oh, Fenrir's got to go heal. That means they just have to sit very passively until he comes back.
Yeah, he ran out of regen items from the fight. He used his last tango to tangle out from the corner there.
They only have two tangos left on this Shadow Priest. They have a salve and 3 tangos on the other support, but MUFC have a lot more regen. They've barely used any. Look at Net right now, and he's got his wand. This is going pretty well for MUFC.
Yeah, with Keeper of the Light having level 2, they won't have any mana issues. They will be able to keep spamming them. So it's like sort of Keeper of the Light giving mana to his teammates and NA burning the mana of the enemy heroes. It's all about the mana here. On the
mana
lane.
wars. It sounds like the most boring game ever, but it works. It works. And Vici Gaming, they didn't actually ward the pull. They warded this camp here to prevent the double pull. But
I think
MUFC can still stack
really
this.
A good ward as well because they want to know the positioning of the Keeper of the Light wherever he tries to charge. You should have some wards at the side of the trees when you're going up against the Keeper of the Light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
that whole area, they can see him charging.
Yeah, it's really important to get it, and I want to point out that Ohaiyo in middle, he's
Dominating.
Quite ahead and it's expected as well. But before, when I checked, like
it was
1
much
minute
more
ago,
even.
Yeah, it's much more even. Yeah.
And Ohaiyo, he's been stacking that small camp, which is something we've been hosting a 1v1 tournament. Shadow Fiend's been in the games twice, and you can't do that in the 1v1 tournament. We banned the neutrals. But this is something Shadow Fiend can really abuse being on the Radiant side. He's stronger in that mid lane as a Radiant hero.
Yeah, the small camp stack really allows him to farm a lot faster.
So, gold-wise, very even. Experience-wise, slight lead for the Radiant, but not a big deal. How does VG feel right now? Are they comfortable with their laning, or do they need to make an adjustment?
Oh, they're going bottom lane. They just disrupt. Oh, it's gonna be bad. 3-man impale.
Oh, that's a crush on Fenrir, though. Where's the grave? He doesn't have Shallow Grave yet. He went for the Shadow Poison. Fenrir dropping low. Will be able to escape. That Warcry keeps him alive in the end.
Yeah, it was almost his death there.
Oh, Illuminate. Boy, is that annoying.
This lane is not going too well for VG.
And this is why we always say here on the stream that it's so hard to go aggressive against Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, the constant Illuminate spams and giving mana to his teammates is really very useful in the tri-lane situation.
A little impatient from Net, didn't wait for the crush, but the disruption by Fenrir might cost him his own life. He's dropping low. Actually, who's going to die first? First blood to MUFC. That was pretty close, though, and now Ling looking to get out of here. He has Spike Carapace. He's not using it yet. They're already defensive tri-lane. They already have the edge in the matchup after the way the lane developed, and now they get first blood. And the mid lane going well. MUFC is looking much better here in their second match.
But at least VG have the top lane going better for them. With the sentries giving out to the Syllabi at the start, didn't see that kill.
Didn't see that one either. It looks like started with an Impale, then a Crush to follow up, and an Illuminate to finish the deal.
Yeah, I think that should be the story of that.
That'll be the story of almost every kill they get in this lane. Unless Shadow Demon's setting them up.
I'm keeping close tabs to the Syllabear, checking how is he doing on the lane, because he's the only one that can
Uh-oh,
make
top
it
rune. SYDM wants it, but he's gonna bottle it. At what cost, I might add? Oh, Ohaiyo, he wants the kill. He's looking, he's fishing. He narrowly misses in the end. SYDM, though, gets the rune, but is very much punished for it. Oh, here comes the gank.
He did the right thing because he knew Ohaiyo used his closest raise and he was invis sitting right next to him.
Yeah. And then Ohaiyo tried to use that raise again, but just couldn't find it once it cooled down. Uh-oh. This is an RP. This should be... Can Ohaiyo turn this around, though? No, he's just trying to run away. SYDM's bottling up. This will keep him safe. This should be a kill on Ohaiyo. Ohaiyo bites the dust. They do abandon the Sven. And MUFC immediately seeing this, they try to kill XTT, but he gets away to safety.
Yeah, they made a very good movement there, realizing that bottom lane isn't going too well for them. It's actually the same decision before. I can't remember. I think
IG, it was game 1.
Yeah, against IG. They were having a rough time at bottom, and they sort of realized that, and they changed, and I think they got a gang as well in the game.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same situation here.
And
good timing and map awareness that they knew that they had to move.
And this is a very crucial kill because it delays the Shadow Blade timing, and it delays it in a game where the supports are very, very poor, very behind. So if that Shadow Blade comes out early, they're just going to be food for Shadow Fiend, but they're slowing it down at least a little bit, and that makes it... It's almost like delayed a Blink Dagger on a Panda in some ways. Maybe not quite as important, but similar in terms of the impact that item can have later on.
Yeah, and it also delays the fact that the supports don't have to be forced to buy a lot of sentries earlier, and it's going to be a really important factor of it as well. Because VG supporters are so poor right now, they have to use their gold to buy wards, and if you force them to buy sentries that early, it's going to be very, very hard for them.
Yeah, you mentioned poor. Look at just how poor they are. Net worth on YXY, 200. All he's been buying his wards. The Shadow Demon will have his boot soon, and he has a TP scroll. So this is going to make sure that if they try to gank one of those solo lanes, he can turn the fights around.
But the good thing is Syllabear is having a really good time at top. He's dominating the Weaver.
It gets easier as he levels up, because now you have to worry about entangles, and you can use your time lapse, but that still means you're running away. You're not harassing him. And how quick will the relic be for C2I? He doesn't even have a stout shield on the bear. Already 1700 gold. He could have this maybe by the 12-13 minute mark.
Yeah, you're the math person here. You have to tell me when he's going to get it.
I'm thinking more like 13 minutes, maybe not 12, but it could be 13-minute relic.
Yeah, it could be. If he skips everything and goes straight for the rig, I think it might even be 12 if they get a tower anytime soon.
As soon as this Nyx Assassin hits level 6, I think we're going to see him go top and try to get a kill there.
What level is he on right now? 4 and almost 5, yeah. It's going to be another few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes.
That could be very crucial. If he's going to get a quicker level 6 than sometimes you see, because they had a good time bottom. He's getting a lot of experience.
I think VG they could have tried to stack the Ancient since they were trialing in bottom, because they had Swan Mag. They can clear it really fast. Okay, there's gonna be a smoke gank at bottom.
The smoke gank into a skewer, into a Slither and Crush, but the heal bomb is here, and the kill comes out. It was 4 heroes just to get that one kill, but it is the farming Slardar. A nice hero to shut down. The question is, what's gonna happen in the other lane? Shadow Fiend immediately starts pushing, but a TP is gonna allow him to get back in time. They rotate. No, it's just SYDM going back to his lane.
Yeah, then he has to be there, or not. The Shadow Fiend would be chipping away the tower, really a lot of health there. He has a lot of damage to do it.
And there's still... It's actually... Look at Shadow Fiend. Is he actually... I think he's ahead of the Lone Druid. He is. A lot of these are neutrals, but even then, he's gotten so many of them that he's pulled ahead when it comes to net worth.
Yeah, it's really important for him to rush that. I think he's most likely going to rush that Shadow Blade, and there's one more thing he needs to do as well. He needs to be in the lane all the time middle and try to take down that mid tower as soon as possible, because when you have your Shadow Blade, you want more of their tier 1 towers down so that you can have more mobility and more usage of your Shadow Blade.
That's also going to help it's going to help a lot of heroes, not just him. The Slardar and the Nyx Assassin will be very happy if those towers are down.
Yeah, the Weaver as well. There's more places he can move around.
It's gonna be everyone except for Keeper of the Light who's happy. Net's gonna be annoyed because his horse is going to be panting. It'll be foaming at the mouth trying to keep up.
Foaming in the mouth.
It's true though. But the one nice thing for Net is his job is going to be to defend towers while the rest of the team creates pressure elsewhere on the map. So this support is the perfect support if you want to run a mid-game ganking split pushing lineup, and that's what they have.
They are wasting their time. They're not trying to stack the ancients. Look at the supports there from VG. They should have done that. They should have known that they could have cleared it easily with the Sven.
Yeah, they have, and it's sure Sven's not getting many levels, but the mag is. The mag's already almost level 10. He's gonna have Empower soon, and you could also put that on the bear, and the bear will be cleaving. They could get CTY very, very fat, but they're not doing it.
Sort of those small little things where you have to maximize.
You must learn efficiency, they say.
Yeah, absolutely right about that. You have to be very efficient in all these top tier games. Okay, Ling is trying to gank middle right now with his ultimate.
And it's safe to do it as well. Now it's not safe. Ling is level 6, and this is an observer ward. They don't know he's here. This will be a big kill, but there is an RP, there is a TP on the Shadow Demon. Are they going to get him? Raise number 1, raise number 2, and the auto attack. No chance for anything. And now they rotate, but the damage already done. And they're not going to stack these neutrals again either.
Again, they pass the timing again.
And what are they going to do mid? Nothing. They're not going to be able to do anything to slow down Ohaiyo, and up to 2,000 gold.
At this point, they should have committed one of the supports at top lane, trying to pull and get levels and get whatever gold he can. And the other support could be staying at bottom, ideally even the Shadow Demon, to try and stack the Ancients. They have to use up all the resources in the map right now. They are behind in the farm because they lost the tri-lane, and they really need to catch up as soon as possible.
I still think they have the better group up and fight later on in the game, but you've got to get the items and levels to really have that. Otherwise, you'll never have 5. Oh, Fenrir. Oh no, amplified, and then one raise after the auto attack. He just melts. And that's before the Shadow Blade.
You can't afford to fall too far behind.
And Weaver has gone for a medallion, even more minus armor. Also, the bear, the Lone Druid Bear is going to be very weak to this.
Yeah, it's a very good pickup because it synergizes with his team, the minus armor, and it's very, very effective against the Spirit Bear.
And he's going Radiance build. He's not getting the Maelstrom, so that Assault Cuirass will be a little bit slower as a result.
Is he? I think he might go for Manta first.
CTY?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Weaver.
Oh no, I'm saying the Lone Druid's Assault Cuirass will be delayed because it looks like he's rushing a Radiance, which means, as a result, the minus armor is going to be even stronger against him.
Oh yeah, it's also the same case like yesterday. Joel, he opted to go for the Maelstrom and Assault because he was facing against so many armor reduction.
Yeah.
And in this game, CTY is not going for that. He's going to go for the Radiance.
This game has even more minus armor than that game.
Yeah, do the math. Medallion, 6 armor, Slada. Oh, 20.
We'll do the math in a little bit. I'm gonna rest my brain before that. Ohaiyo has the Shadow Blade as well. It's coming now. Oh boy, this is trouble. They still have their outer towers, but they need to have sentry wards, and they need to be very defensively positioned now because Nyx Assassin is also level 8. Wow, the supports are really ahead. Look how under level the supports on Vici Gaming are. They smoke top, by the way, and they accomplish nothing with that.
That's why I said they have to commit the heroes to pull and get levels. They really need a lot of levels right now, and one of them could stay bottom. They're really not efficient now. They're still trying to gank when they're so low level.
And it's not an amazing gank lineup. Like, you're ganking a lone Druid's lane. Unless he gets an Entangle, you're probably not going to kill. There's no Demonic Purge yet. There's only one point in Poison Touch. Mid lane, SYDM's dropping low. 1 raise, 2 raise. Ohaiyo is on the money today, and the Spike Carapace is going to essentially waste this TP from XTT. He controlled the game nicely as Batrider, but we're seeing that tri-lane Sven, if he doesn't have a good start, not as good at controlling and counter-ganking.
Yeah, not to mention as well, before they were trying to gank a Weaver with Shadow Demon and Shadow Priest. How are you going to kill the Weaver?
Yeah, it's just maybe with the Poison Touch and then a Purge at the right moment, right after he's used the Kuchi, but even then it's very tough.
It's very hard. He has his ulti and they don't have dust.
Look at xfreedom. He's applying a lot of pressure to CTY. He caught him in range form and does about half his HP in damage before he can switch. And the bear, even the bear's melting.
Yeah, it shows you how effective his item build was.
This is that spread the map. This is the perfect start if you want to spread the map. Winning your tri-lane, doing well in your two off lanes.
Top lane, top lane.
Oh, they're going to catch him in range form. He's using range form to get more regen from those Tranquil Boots. No, he's going back inside. And the gank opportunity is missed. Or maybe it's not.
Him. Oh no, they're not.
They do force the TP. They'll be fairly happy with that.
Yeah. And did they spot the Shadow Fiend at top when he was trying to go behind?
I don't know if they saw him going up there. I don't think so, because they don't have an observer here, and they don't. I doubt he did it in the right at their tower. I don't think they saw him.
If the game continues like that and VG doesn't try to stack the ancients or anywhere to try to get back on the economical battle, it's gonna be really hard for them in another 5 minutes, because SF is gonna be really big and he's gonna get, if he gets a crit after this, oh no, he's going for a BKB.
Oh, SYDM's getting picked off bottom. He'll die. And this is their mag. This is their solo mid. He's the one who has to rush the mech for them because of how the game's developing. And that means no blink dagger. It's going to be even harder to initiate, and even the mech's being delayed.
And you can't really blame the supports for not having sentries everywhere because they are really so poor because of that start.
How much gold do they even have right now? They don't even have the money for the sentries right now.
Dazzle has sentries with him, but I think he just got it. And he still hasn't planned. Oh,
it's really...
he's dead.
Oh, YXY dodges one raise, then Graves. Ohaiyo doesn't commit to that. He had an invis vert as well. I think he could have gone a little bit more, but just plays it safe.
He's worried because he can't. There's only one hero on the map just now, the Syllabi at top.
Yeah.
He was just worried,
Here's the problem, is there's multiple carries on MUFC, and they're very mobile in the fights, with the Slardar, the Weaver, and to some extent the Shadow Fiend with the Shadow Blade. It's gonna be hard to hit a perfect reverse polarity, and if you're not doing that, I don't see you winning a fight right now as VG.
Yeah, and this is the draft that I was talking about. I was really looking forward to MUFC drafting something like that, more towards their strat, instead of the heroes that were picking up before, Queen of Pain, Anti-Mage. I really prefer them playing this sort of lineup.
Yeah, the Darkseer in particular, just the way they were laning it didn't seem like it was working. Getting the Chen, it can be great, but you really have to have a strong start if you're not going for the group up and push Chen, which they weren't. It was a roaming Chen. It wasn't a 5-man Dota kind of Chen.
Look at Matt placing the ward there. He knows that they are already controlling so much of the map and they don't have much.
Oh, the supports. This is what we talked about. They didn't even have to use a vendetta for that. They can just be assassinated at any moment. And he's just trying to do his job. He's just trying to get some wards out. But he can't. He's so restricted with his movements.
Yeah, because with the NA getting so good of a start and having so many pickoffs, they are really so afraid when they go anywhere. Even in their own jungle, it's not safe. Oh, Shadowfiend has a DD.
A DD and a Shadow Blade.
And the amplify damage.
Look, he's got 1300 HP. Let's see how fast he drops. They see SYDM, and they back off. They're not gonna go. There's a BKB coming.
I think he could have known the Shadowfiend was there because for a moment when there was the aura on the. Oh, look at this! Look at this!
Yeah, top lane. They forced the dive, but then. Oh! While that was happening.
Yeah, that was what I was telling you. The Sun he TP'd here and SF 4-hitted him.
Simultaneously on both sides of the map. It's aggression from MUFC. They're getting that was a solo kill with the Shadow Fiend, pretty much, right? With the amplified damage there, just solo killed him.
Yeah, he did. With the amplified damage. Sada didn't even try to stun him.
And this is the problem, is when you're behind like this, your supports have to be everywhere at once to help everybody survive, but they can't be everywhere at once, especially with the tier 1 being down bottom. There's just no way to save them all simultaneously.
They could have gone for the Roche just now after that kill with the Slaughter and SF.
They want to go for kills. Screw the Roche, they say. They're going to find YXY. MUFC are just picking Vici Gaming apart.
Oh, this is going so bad for them.
I don't think there's a comeback potential for Vici Gaming unless MUFC just start feeding.
Look at the goal graph already. Oh my god.
Very big gold lead, very big experience lead. And remember, they're running split push. That really counters a group up lineup, which is what Vici Gaming have.
A group up lineup, you have to have a good... Oh, top lane.
Top lane, there's your Mana Bird, and then that's it.
Oh, I thought he was going to go in.
The bear, what is... It's the lone druid who just has to get so fat right now, but he's 1,000 gold behind Shadow Fiend.
But I'm really worried that he can't deal with the late game alone because Sven has such a poor start that he can't do much later on. And MUFC have the Weaver, have the Slaughter, they have the Shadowfiend, they have 3 right-click heroes that could be so painful for them. And for VG, it seems like they only have the Syllabi right now.
Let's do the math right now. -6 armor on the Shadowfiend. We have another -6 from the Dyne. That's -12. We look at the bugs. How much do the bugs give you? Up to is it 8?
I don't think there's a cap on it. It goes as long as the
12 count. So,
yeah.
Or wait, no, that's the number.
No. As long as the duration goes by 20 seconds.
I don't. Can it really? All right, let's say possible. We'll just say it's 10, just to be realistic about it. So that's -26, and then you're looking at another kill, and then the amplified damage. It's the bear's gonna have like -10 armor, probably, if not more, if not -15.
Unless he gets the assault up, it will probably help him a bit.
Yeah, amplify damage plus 14. That's -30 armor, and that's only if the bugs do half of what they're capable of. And that's before amplify damage is level 3. This got buffed. This was one of the things that got buffed a couple of patches ago. And look at the split push. They get the tier 2 mid. Now he's going high ground mid.
Yeah, this is what MUFC has to do. As long as VG doesn't get the chance to group up and use a good reverse polarity to get them back in the game, it's pretty much going to be very, very over for VG.
Yeah, when the Shadow Fiend is breaching high ground by himself against the team with an RP and a Stormbolt this early, that shows you how far ahead he is.
Oh, bottom lane. Oh, he used his BKB right before the reverse landed. It's gonna save him.
Oh, like you said, it saves him because otherwise he can't pop that BKB.
Yeah, the Sven will be able to chain stun him, and the Shadow Priest would have been there to deal more damage to him.
Right now, watching Vici Gaming trying to defend their towers is like watching a house of cards slowly topple.
And xfreedom is even pinging the Roche there.
He's pinning the Roche, but they're busy just pushing top lane. They want to get this last outer tower down. Well, there's the bottom tier 2, but the second to last outer tower down.
Yeah, and the next thing MUFC has to do is
get a gem.
As I said before, get a gem.
Yeah. See, I'm learning. MUFC is getting entangled. Ling's getting brought down. They do find the pickoff on the weave on the Nyx.
Just to do that.
Just to kill the Nyx. Yeah. Even CTY was there. And CTY, all he has is chainmail on the bear. He's really slipping behind the Shadow Fiend of this game.
Look at that. They even dropped 2 sentries for him.
It's such a now this lone druid with the tier 1 down. Oh, mid lane. Are they gonna go? No. With the tier 1 being down mid or top, and the tier 1 and 2 down bottom or mid lane rather, they had 3 of these towers missing right now. It's just they need sentry wards everywhere to keep this. Otherwise, the lone druid is gonna get ganked repeatedly. Forget about the supports. Even the lone druid can be ganked at this point.
Yeah, and look at the vision MUFC has. They basically have the whole stretch of the mid part of the map.
This
all in there.
This is exactly how MUFC win games. This is their style. We're seeing it right now.
Yeah.
Fenrir is getting caught. Yeah, you're circling the sentries, but Fenrir's thinking, I wish sentries could actually keep me alive. Maybe they will. The Shallow Grave comes in. Fenrir's dropping low, crush on a few. I think Sharky will come back in to finish the job. The Grave just wears off, but not at the right moment. Freedom chasing is going to kill him off. Not Sharky, it's Freedom, and now the Bear just getting stunned. Chain stun. Chain burst. Where's the Shadow Fiend? He's pushing top. Now the reverse polarity. They're fighting without Shadow Fiend. Will it cost them? I don't know. xfreedom's still going. He's manning up. He's going to be forced to use his time lapse and run away. But while this is happening, Shadow Fiend was pushing top. He got the tier 2. Now he comes bottom. Will he gank the bear? Will he go for the hero? He's coming in. CTY's running away. And Ohio, if he was there, that would have been a team wipe against Vici Gaming. But they at least get the tier 2.
I think it was okay because he got the tier 2 tower and they traded 2 for 2. Wasn't really too bad for them.
I think it's still not ideal, but yeah, like you said, it's not bad at all by any means. Because now CTY, where does he farm? There's 1 tower and it's on the bottom lane.
And they were doing that because they already had the plan to split push at the start, and Shadowfiend is actually doing a good job to, even though his team lost 2 heroes there, they got more map control from that, the tier 2 being down, and more importantly is the safe lane. Both the towers, the outer towers of the safe lane is down, and CTY is going to be very afraid when he farms and the NA is missing and the SF is missing.
This is a lot. xfreedom, he's even gone for a drums. It shows you the role that I think most people are used to seeing Weaver as oftentimes a 1-position carry, especially when Dota 2 first came out. You know, he's not the hardest carry, but he'd often be given that safe lane to farm, sometimes in aggressive tri-lanes, but this is a 3-position Weaver. He's going for utility items, he went for the early medallion, and it's all just about creating space for the other heroes, the Shadow Fiend and the Slaughter. It's not a Weaver who's just getting what we saw yesterday, which was the Sharky Weaver, where it's an early Radiance and then a Lincoln Sphere going for more of a hard carry build.
Yeah, the Weaver this game doesn't need to deal too much damage because of the nature of the draft. They have Slada, they have Seraphine, all the minus armor. Weaver just need to get items that is able to let him tank more, deal more damage for his team, and that's about it. Because he doesn't really need those big items, as there's always the Shadow Fiend to back him up in the form of his right clicks and his ultimate. So I totally agree with the Weaver going this sort of item build in this game.
I do. It shows you that it is a versatile hero. I think this is... I honestly think this is what Weaver's best at. He's not really the best hard carry in most cases.
Yeah, that's true as well. Weaver doesn't really go too well at the late game phase against heroes like FV or even a Sven.
Yeah, even his steroid is not something that really scales that amazingly. It's still only that double attack every, what is it, 4 seconds? Oh,
I think
did it get buffed?
They buff it.
Oh,
yeah,
you're
they buff
right.
it. Yeah, they
But
buff it.
it's still a flat amount. You know, it's not like a critical strike where every attack you have a chance to do it. It's one double attack every 2.5.
It still helps because Weaver's a sort of hero. He deals damage over time, not burst damage. So with the cooldown being lower for the Gemini attack, it really helps his damage output in the late game when he has MKB or any form of damage item up.
I'm trying to remember what it used to be, but I'm actually, I think it was like 3.75 maybe a little bit lower than that.
I'm not sure, but I know they buffed it
Yeah.
in the recent patch.
And now Ohaiyo, this is the pure assassin build. Now he's got a Crystallis.
Look at how much damage he's dealing to the Magnus at bottom.
That's the Magnus, and he still doesn't have his mech. He hasn't been able to
Oh, is
farm.
he going in?
He's going in. He's getting RP'd, xfreedom, but with baiting out the RP if he has buyback, maybe. Oh, they don't even get him! Oh, crucial mistake there, and Nyx is finding a kill on the Shadow Demon. There's no RP. What's to stop them from 5
I think it wasn't a mistake. They just couldn't got there in time. And xfreedom knew it, and he just dived in, tried to bait out the RP, and they used it on him.
No, a mistake by the Magnus, though, because now they don't have RP to defend.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his team not being able to be there on time.
No, I think it was okay. Even if xfreedom died there, if he had buyback, which I don't know if he did, but even if he dies, it's still no RP.
Oh no, he doesn't have buyback. He just bought a Demon Age.
Yeah. They're gonna have so. How do you kill all the carries?
Look at xfreedom.
Man mode. He is feeling
Boss
very
mode.
free. Ohaiyo gets entangled top lane though. This will be a very big kill. But do they have detection? They don't. He's got a TP away. No, he's got a Shadow Blade. He's getting recalled. Wow. That was very close to being a kill there. They needed the vision, but the supports.
They really needed that kill. I think it's gonna be almost over for them right now.
There's no RP. They used everything to just try and kill the Shadow Fiend, except for that RP. What do you do if you're Vici Gaming now? There's just no way to leave the base.
I'm surprised they still don't have a gem. They're just going for more items on the support, which are still fine. Because VG doesn't really have any wards up as well. No.
And the Slardar has the Aegis and the BKB, so he can just jump in, soak up all the damage, and you can't really run from him because he's got that crush, he's got the bash, he's just so good at chasing.
I don't know about soaking up damage. I don't think they'll be able to deal much damage to him when he has his BKB up.
Yo, soaking up what damage? Like you said.
Yeah, what damage?
It's true. This is not looking good for Vici Gaming.
Look at the split push now from MUFC.
This is basically like textbook split push.
Yeah, this is what I've been talking about when Fallout was doing their anti-mage. This was what they were supposed to do earlier against DK.
Yeah, I mean, this is more natural for MUFC. I'm not sure 4Lover is comfortable with it, even though we've seen them do it a few times.
Yeah, because they are not so experienced as MUFC doing.
Oh, Ling, what are you doing?
He's
Ling.
inside.
4-staffed away, but he's still gonna drop here. He already used the Spike Carapace. Does get brought down. Now the Purge on the net. They are pushing in top, simultaneously blinking, and the Crush on everyone. That was a 4-hero Crush, and he got the Bear, and he's actually gonna keep his teammate alive. Did use the BKB charge for that. He'll be happy though. And now Freedom.
Look at the top tower.
Yeah.
Look at the top tower.
As soon as they go top, in comes Freedom bottom. And this is after they lost the Nyx. This is being 4v5.
Oh, I think I know why the Nyx was inside.
Was he trying to
skewer. No, skewer. Because it was.
Oh, he got skewered in.
Yeah, I think he got skewered in. I didn't see, but it's most likely that he got skewered in.
Yeah, it would make more sense.
But it will be very difficult because the mag, he doesn't have a dagger, so...
It might have just been him running into their base or something, I'm not sure. Well, either way, even when they give up that kill, they're still pressuring all 3 lanes, and Vici Gaming, still, how do they leave the base?
They have to have tons of ghost setters up on their team because of the damage output from the right click of MUFC.
The one danger with split push is if you get sloppy, you can start giving up some kills, and even a few kills are going to start to turn this game around.
But look at VG's draft. Their draft is so based on fire manning, and if they want to get a kill, they need to use the reverse polarity.
Yeah, almost certainly. How else are you going to kill heroes with BKBs? Or even the Weaver, who we saw before, just time lapses away. Maybe they can kill the Weaver. That's because he doesn't have the BKB, and if you have everyone there, maybe you can bring him down before time lapses. But aside from that, they shouldn't really be able to kill anyone.
I don't, unless the NA is like walking into the enemy territory again and getting skewered. I don't see anything happening to any of their heroes right now. It's gonna be so hard for them to kill anyone.
There's so much physical damage that Lone Druid has gone for a Ghost Scepter. He's delaying his own Assault Caress just to get it out quicker. And now Mag dies top. Did he RP before that? No, he's got RP, but doesn't matter. Godlike from Ohio, what an assassination. Now he's charging onward. He wants Fenrir. Where's the crits, he says. Where's the crits? RP is here. He hasn't cast it yet. He knows he needs to catch the Shadow Feed with it. He's going to catch two. He catches lane as well. Force-staffing Ohio away. Now he BKBs. He can turn around and fight this, I think, but he doesn't want to get entangled. He keeps on running. Now, in comes the studs. In comes the backup. XTT dropping under his own towers. And Ohio circles back around. They're all getting killed off, and this is after the RP. So where do you go now? Winter, I ask you, what do you do?
Oh, they just have to pray and hope for a miracle right now.
Really? They do defend the racks, but how many buybacks did that force? 2 buybacks already.
Yeah, 2 buybacks.
XTT chasing, Ling TPing away. The Bear's not in range to entangle. In the crucial moments here, the Bear is actually not focusing maybe the heroes you wanted to. And I don't know if it would matter anyway.
Look at xfreedom. He's buying a TP inside the enemy base.
It's just, you can't keep track of these heroes in the fights. It's just not possible. He's got MKB up now.
Yeah. Even the enemy base is safe for him.
And the Bear's not safe. Look at that damage. If the Amplify damage was up before the crit, that might have almost killed the Bear by itself. But it came up after the crit.
Oh.
Blink in, crush, insta-kill. Dazzle falls. Now the Sven next in line. Sven is normally very tanky, but he's just melting to the aggression of MUFC. The Bear goes down. The Chinese fans, I don't know, man. They might be wrong again, at least about this game. MUFC farming Vici Gaming in their own base, and the GG's likely to come out any moment. There you go. GG. MUFC take game 1.
Yeah, the Warcry plus 16 armor doesn't even seem it's there. There's so much armor reduction.
Just doesn't help. This is the MUFC that I expected to see on day 1. They are playing... I have to say, Tongfu played well on day 1, but it was also MUFC just not playing very well. Not playing, like you said, not playing their style. This was their style. We saw it here.
Yeah, I was really looking forward for them to play something like this in the first day, but I'm really surprised they didn't do this in the first day.
Me too. So as we wrap up this game, we look forward to game 2. What does Vici Gaming need to do differently if they hope to beat MUFC?
They need to be very careful with all their decision making if they were to go for a draft that requires them to win in the lane. And I really think that they have to buck up a lot in their positioning and their decision making. If they continue to make mistakes like that, walking around and not stacking, not being efficient, they're going to be rolled over again in the next game.
And if they want to...
MUFC were so efficient in this game, and their map movement by the NA and the SF, killing all the heroes, picking off here and there, they were so good. And if VG repeats it, the next game they're going to get rolled again.
And, you know, if you want to go aggressive, you probably want to get rid of that Keeper the Light. I think that's the other thing for this team.
It's a very important point that you pointed out. If you're going to do an aggressive tri-lane, you don't want to the MA team having a Keeper of the Light.
Well, unfortunately, this game 1, it goes the way of MUFC. But for Vici Gaming fans, the good news is it's a best out of 3. This is a must-win game for them. It's a must-win series for both teams. Whoever loses the series drops to 0-2 in the group and has a very long shot at even being able to advance as the 3rd place team. I'm LD, he's Winter. We'll be back with game 2 after these highlights and after these messages.